Hello Steelers and Happy New Year and welcome to 2025 and the first hobby update of 2025. I'm putting this out on New Year's Day. Just a quick one really to kind of bring you up to speed with what I've done since the last hobby update, which was now a couple of weeks ago, pre-Christmas. I was hoping to get another hobby update out before Christmas, but to be honest, I didn't actually paint a whole load before Christmas because the week leading up I was in Germany anyway, and then also in the half week leading up to Christmas we were kind of running about a lot, myself and my wife, just getting last minute presents and bits and pieces, picking up food, that kind of thing, visiting friends, the usual stuff. And then of course Boxing Day we went down to see family as well, so it was called, it was all pretty manic really. So I've only really actually been able to paint much stuff since Christmas Day itself, but I did sit down and managed to knock out a couple of things. Well, I'll talk about those in a second. I'll show you what I've done, talk a little bit about what we played over the period as well, and then just talk a little bit about Germany as well, not a huge amount but some of it anyway, and then also I'll show you some of the Christmas presents that I got, not all of them, but just some of the ones that are probably a bit more relevant to this channel and to probably the people who are watching's interest, so it's more of the hobby stuff. But painting wise, one of the things I painted this over these last couple of weeks was the Grenadiers à Cheval of the Imperial Guard. These are the French Grenadiers in their bearskins. This came as actually half of a birthday present that was given to me by Dr. Dave Kenyon, who gave me these and also the Chasseurs à Cheval as well, which I painted previously. These are actually the resin ones from Warlord Games, 15mm. And these are lovely figures, loads and loads of detail on them. I'd kind of block coloured them just before Christmas, but it kind of sat on the desk for a week until I was able to get back and just actually hammer the rest of them out again. So a big heavy cavalry unit there for probably for General d'Armée 2, I guess, at some point. So that's quite nice, quite like them. And then secondly, the other thing as well this Christmas was that Tom Egan over on Blue Sky had posted up a festive tank challenge. He'd done it last year and a year before. I'd entered it. I can't remember if I entered it last year. I entered it in previous years. And each year basically he decides that we're going to paint a tank as a community, just a particular type of tank. You can do whatever type of tank you want, so that whatever scale or whatever. And this year it was a Panzer IV. And I was looking through my stuff and I realised that I actually got a Tamiya Panzer IV, 1/35th scale Panzer IV, and it's been on my build pile for God, over a year. I think I even brought it from the old house when we moved house. So I'd got that and I thought, well, perfect chance just to get this finished off, get it painted up as part of a challenge, a community effort. I thought that's a nice way of doing it. So I did. It's a early version of the Ausf D, and it's got the applique armour on it. This one was, I think, served in the Balkans according to the instructions, and I just did a very basic job on it really. Used my old spray brush, my airbrush on it for the first time in a while, because I like to use it on these bigger models and the smaller things, and yeah, just turned out quite nice. I was quite chuffed with that. It was a nice simple intricate build that you just basically just do it as a set piece and that's it. So that will then end up in my display cabinet, which is over my shoulder here on the side of me. So happy to have done that. And Tom, if you're watching, great challenge and great fun as always. There were some great tanks that were shown all over Blue Sky and elsewhere as well. Excellent stuff. Meanwhile, we played a few games over the Christmas period. Nothing wargaming really. I've not actually played a war game for a couple of weeks now, simply because as I say, we've just been so busy. But myself and my wife played quite a few board games. We played the cards version of Camel Up. We played Splendor Duel. We also had a couple of games of Valley of Kings as well. And then whilst we were down in Birmingham visiting the family, we introduced our nephews and half nephews and all the extended family members to Ticket to Ride, and they loved it, and they loved it so much that they actually went and bought it the next day and were playing it the next day after we'd come home. So I think that's a successful mission. And interestingly as well, the nephews and I guess they're half nephews, they're all family. They'd been painting some Warhammer 40k stuff, so they were showing me that. I mean, we bought a couple of bits and pieces for Christmas to paint up as well, so I think they were chuffed with that as well. So that was pretty good. It was nice to be able to get them into the wider hobby, I think, and then eventually scoop them up and get them into historicals. I mentioned it as well. I was in Germany just before Christmas. This was for work. I was there for a week, from Sunday evening actually through till Friday, so it was quite a long week, pretty intense. There was a lot of things to do, but while I was there, I did manage to get to Wewelsburg Castle, which is quite close to Paderborn, and we called in there and had a look at the SS exhibition and the SS towers, because this was if you don't know, it's the castle that was taken over by Heinrich Himmler, I think in mid-30s, to use as a SS school, basically, as a way of educating the SS soldiers in the correct, in their terms, way of thinking when it came to Nazi ideology. Really interesting place. I've wanted to go for a long time just to actually see the rooms that were basically knocked about by the SS and turned into the lower floor and also the upper area of one of the three towers of the castle. The rest of the building is taken up by a pretty good museum of the site itself from, I think, about 1600s when the castle was built. So it's a bit of a more like a local farming kind of museum in itself, and that was really good. But also, unfortunately, I didn't really get a huge amount of time to go around the SS section of it exhibition, but that is always open and it is free as well, and you are not allowed to take photographs, with obvious reason, within the SS areas of the castle itself, but it was certainly interesting to actually visit it, and a slice of particularly not very nice history, shall we say, but these are interesting sites, and they are it's good that we saw a group of school kids. I think there were two coaches full of school kids that were there that were being taught all about the Germany's dark past. So hopefully these things don't happen again in the future. Wishful thinking sometimes, but there we are. The other thing that I did just before Christmas was record the Brews in the Vineyard Christmas special with Ian from Flankers of War and our host Ken of the Yorkshire Gamer. That has been now released. I think it's about 4 hours long. I can't believe that we were talking for 4 hours. But absolute nonsense. Lots of stuff about Trench Crusade and the First World War and bits and pieces in there. Hopefully, if you check it out, I will put a link in the description down below. Always good fun as ever. Every time we do those, they are now almost traditional at this point, I think. So yeah, they good fun. Go and check those out. So as I say, I'll just put a link in the description. Put it on, do some painting, and just enjoy that in some of these lazy days over Christmas and New Year's. And Christmas presents. I'll take you through some of the stuff that I got as well. So first up, let me show you this. Nephew Ted gave me this, A Desperate Business, Wellington, the British Army and the Waterloo Campaign. This is quite a modern book, actually, from about 2012, I think it is. No, 2001. What am I talking about? It's 2001, so it's all right, 20 years old, reasonably modern. But it's just a nice introduction to Waterloo and Wellington. What's interesting about this book I noticed, is that it talks a little bit more about the fighting after Waterloo as well, which really piqued my interest. And there's some fantastic illustrations in here as well from modern artists such as Chris Collingwood, amongst others in there. So it's really nicely illustrated as well. So that's going to be, I think, I picked that up in a second-hand bookshop. It was nice to know that he was thinking of me. The other thing I got as well, whilst we were down visiting the fam, was this Dawn of D-Day. These men were there, 6 June 1944, David Howarth. This is the 80th anniversary edition. Now, I've got it open here on a with this bookmark, which was also one of my presents as well, which is stamped with AS, Alex. What this bookmark actually is a section of escape map that was given to aircrew, I think, in the Second World War, made out of silk. So that when they'd landed in foreign areas, foreign lands, they were able to find themselves around using these maps. And somebody has been making bookmarks out of some of these maps. So that's a really nice touch. The reason it's in this particular point here is because my sister-in-law's boyfriend, Rob, who got me the book, it came from both of them, but Rob got it to me, it actually describes his ancestor, I think it's his great-uncle, in action in D-Day as well. So it's really nice that not only is it a great book about the Second World War, but it is also got that familial connection as well. You know, it's literally like one step away from having my ancestors' names in the book. But yeah, there's a little write-up about what Sergeant Lindsay did in D-Day. The other thing I got was this high-tie. This is a book on the Japanese infantryman and his equipment, 1931 to 1945, and it is photographs of original kit of the Japanese soldier wore throughout the Second World War. So this is an absolutely perfect, brilliant reference, including everything that they have, medals and awards, the food they were eating, all the medical kit, instruments they were using, all kinds of stuff, weapons and everything. Really, really in-depth and brilliant piece of research and work on that. I think this is available over on Amazon if anybody's interested, but you know, if you're looking for a painting guide, you probably couldn't do much better than this, to be perfectly honest. This is where it's at. That's what you really want. And game wise, I got a couple of games. So I got Under the Pyramids expansion for Eldritch Horror. I've been wanting this for quite a while. You may see behind me somewhere up there, I've already got several Eldritch Horror expansions and the base game itself. It's a great game. So yeah, that's Eldritch Horror Under the Pyramids expansion. And finally, my wife got me this. She knew I wanted this. This is Arcs, Conflict and Collapse in the Reach. It's basically a board game by the same guy who made Root, which I absolutely love. And it's produced by Leader Games, who also made Root as well. And basically it's a space game where you are trying to conquer your enemies, up to 4 players, I think it is, and basically just control the galaxy. All I've done so far is set it up just to see how it looks, read the rules. It's one of those games where I think it looks complicated but probably actually isn't, and the most complexity comes really from just the fact that you've got so many choices to go through with the game itself. But I'm looking forward to playing this at some point. I don't know when, I don't know where, but I will do, possibly down at the club maybe, but we'll see. But yes, so I was really chuffed with getting that. Fantastic stuff. Right, okay, well, that was me Crimbo presents and the stuff I painted already. So really, plans for 2025. So this is a little bit like New Year's resolutions, I guess. I don't really make them, but for this I'll make an exception. I'm still working through the Epic Warlord stuff, the first 2 box sets that they sent, the French and the British armies. I'm so close to finishing them now that I'm reckoning probably in the first 6 months of 2025 they should be finished. That's what I'm looking for, at least, unless I get anything else on top of them. And then I'm going to start on the Prussians, and obviously that's only 1 box set, so that should be a lot easier and hopefully a lot quicker to actually get them finished as well. So that's kind of the big overarch again. I was hoping that I would have got them done this year in 2024, but it just didn't happen, other things. And then finally as well, also I'm just going to finish off my Vietnam stuff as well. I don't have a huge amount left of that, mostly vehicles. There are still some infantry to do, but I want to get back to that and just get those knocked out as well. That shouldn't be a particularly difficult task, I don't think. As I say, it's probably about a platoon's worth of VC So I'll get those done at some point. They're pretty easy to paint in the black peasant clothes, so that should be quite easy. And obviously just going to keep putting out more and more videos as well throughout the year. I've got quite a few lined up already, quite a few battle reports coming over the next couple of months, so keep an eye out for that, of course. I'll let you know when they come. And as ever, you know, if you are watching this and you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. It all adds up, and I'm looking at getting to 15,000 subscribers soon enough, and I'm hoping that will happen in the next few months. So you can help out by hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the like button as well if you liked it, and if you want to help out the channel, as always, please do check out the Patreon and also channel memberships. Let me know what your 2025 resolutions are for the new year, and I will see you in the next Storm of Steel video.